Hey guys, Sean Bougie, SurplusFundsRiches.net. Today we're going to talk about the market correction that we're in. We're in the beginning of that, whether or not that's going to be Armageddon or some kind of insane opportunity. So let's look at the numbers first. Statista.com gave me this. This lists the year along with the millions of homes sold during that year and the average sales price in the thousands. And you can see from 2015 through 21, it's anywhere from 5.25 to all the way to 6 million homes sold, with an average price of 360.6 thousand up to 453. So let's assume we're going to have a 10% correction, and I'd be surprised to see that, but let's assume that we were. Well, anything prior to 1921 is safe, guys. It's still going to have equity, and therefore it's going to create an overage if it sells at an auction. $453.7 thousand was the average for 2021 versus 391.9 thousand, 391,900 for 2020. That's a difference of 61.8 versus if we had a 10% correction of 45.37, we still have equity, we still have an insane amount of overages being created. Why are we going to see continued high overages and high sales? Couple things, guys. The property tax reassessment pressure, I've talked about this in the past. The lower end has always hit the hardest. I'm going to come back to that at the end. But it's also always had the highest upside. By lower end, I mean lower end. Stuff that's falling apart. We still have the pent-up demand. Millennials are driving that. Also, the inventory, guys, is still low. It's 3.3 months versus 5 to 6 months is basically in balance. So we're still looking at a seller's market. Also, higher rents makes the investor's ROI work even at higher retail prices. So you're still going to have all this demand and the ability to fuel higher retail prices, particularly in the bottom end. New construction is way down. It's going to be like that for a while, simply because it's too expensive to build homes. Builders are gun shy, and you also have municipalities driving down the opportunity there by not issuing new permits for builds. So you've got this demand still in place. You have inventory there that's still low. You have millennials that are larger than the baby boomers coming through the market, and they're driving the demand right now, even with the higher rates. So guys, remember that the lower end, I keep bringing that up, the lower end saw the largest jump in value, and that's fueling these high overages because you're seeing these guys about to be reassessed by the tax guy. All right, they were already holding on by the fingernails. They got the property because they inherited it. It was worth 20, now it's worth 60, even though it's a falling apart home. And as a result, it's going to sell for 60 what it's worth at the auction, and it's going to create a lot of overage. And those are the people that can't afford to hang on to it. They're not going to come up with the money at the last minute. So you're going to see a lot of that. Obviously, there's another side to that. As taxes go up, that adds to the payment for mortgages, guys. Mortgage payments include principal, interest, taxes, that's real property taxes, and insurance on the property. Okay? Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. If the taxes go up, the bank is going to require a higher escrowed amount into that monthly payment, and that's going to also push people off that are on the margins. So you're going to see more and more of those. Meanwhile, we still have the demand there. We still have the millennials coming through the market. We also have very high rent prices, which is making that tipping point happen, which is where it's cheaper to buy than to rent. So what do I see? I see insane opportunity for the next 5 to 7 years.